what's up? Welcome back to Gurren Lagann. This is episode 23. Crawling and crawling closer to the ending of this series. It's wild to me. It's always crazy when there's a series like that I've heard about so much. Like, it's one thing when I finish a seasonal, it's like, oh, this is a seasonal, so, you know, they come and go. But when there's a series that I've heard about so much and I've experienced little bits and pieces through osmosis, and I know I've seen these characters around before, I've seen cosplay and art, and, like, you know, throughout the years I've taken in a lot of that stuff, but I never saw it myself. When I actually do it on this channel and then I get towards the end of it and I finish it, it's a crazy experience to me, because I go from, like, at the time I finish it, I consider myself going from someone who is not a part of the fandom to someone who is part of the fandom. Like, as soon as I finish the show, I think that's a fair point that I can go, yeah, I'm a part of the fan club of this show now. So it's crazy to me that I am almost there with Gurren Lagann, because I had heard of Gurren Lagann for so long, and had always wondered if it would be the kind of show I liked and what it would be like. And now, you know, I'm coming towards the end of the show. I'm really liking it. I really like this show. And I mean, as I said recently, on its second watch, the second time I watched the show, it got even better, I think. So I'm very glad that I did rewatch the whole show, basically, so that I could like up to the point, obviously, that I've done these reactions, so I could be fully ready for these final episodes to see what the heck is gonna happen. It's been crazy so far. I assume it's gonna keep being crazy. But yeah, I'm really excited to continue doing this and to finish this. Honestly, I'm genuinely excited for, like, the last episode, because I feel like this show could have a crazy last episode based on how it's been building and building throughout the entire series. I feel like you end with a spectacle, but we'll see. Let's not jump too far ahead, because I think there are 27 episodes and we're still only on 23. We got quite a bit to go. So let's just jump into episode 23. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to the channel. All of that stuff helps me out. And you can go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reactions and early access. You can go to my Patreon account right now to get episode 24 in full length right now. So it's absolutely worth it. You get early episodes, you get the full-length version, and you get content for all my other series and my Jent Watches One Piece channel. It's the best value for money you could ever get. So go check that out. But here we go, jumping into Gurren Lagann. This is episode 23. Nageku hima hanai.
As the Earth's destruction looms
Oh,
ever
it's
closer,
so cool.
the anti-spiral's messenger is called back to the enemy homeworld.
We need to get Nia back. The old man again. Even the iron has a face. Here's a picture of Simone and Nia. Let's go. This is the final battle. Woo, baby. 1 week since prevention of moonfall.
You don't have to beg and scrape. You were handpicked by Simone.
They trust
same
it.
as the rest of us.
Aww,
We're about to
that's
launch
nice.
a full frontalist. There's no time to worry about the small stuff.
True.
And some of us have
I like her
changed a
jacket.
bit.
Nobody better than humans at being ready and rough.
Oh, hey.
We're
Anyone see
great.
Rosiu?
Hey, Rosio!
Rosiu wasn't in a great state at the end of last
Don't be
episode.
in a rush.
He says he'll leave all further mission planning up to us.
Okay.
Let's get down to business.
To defeat
This is the result
the
of all the collated
Huns.
data. Our Gurren, Cathedral Terra. The thing that brings
Damn.
out the potential of each is present in us life forms possessing a double helix genetic structure.
Come on, guys. It's not that hard.
It's fighting spirit.
Why didn't
Yeah.
you say that in the first place?
That's really
It
funny.
appears that the anti-genetic diversity resulting from gamogenesis is the key to evolution. It's that keeps spiral power moving forward. In other words, it means that love changes the universe.
As we
They're
speak,
giving
they're
lore
focusing
reasons
their
for all
efforts on the
classic
construction of a
anime
scanning
tropes.
system on the...
Come on, don't be embarrassed. Love
Yeah.
changes the universe, remember?
Yeah, you gotta
so
do
I
it.
say let's change it, wants to or not. It doesn't sound as good coming from you.
Kiss my ass.
Understand where your strength comes from.
Our love and
Get even
spirit.
stronger before all this is over.
Oh.
Father Mogging.
Oh, yeah.
Is that you?
I didn't think about the fact that he'd still be alive.
No, sir. Here.
Isn't that
He returns the
a holy
book.
I'm not the right man to hold it.
Oh.
Have you read it?
No, that book cannot be read.
What?
What?
But there was nothing like it anywhere.
Oh.
What is it then?
Someone probably made it as a practical joke.
No, it's gotta be important.
Joke? Our holy book was just nonsense?
Yep.
Maybe. Actually, oh, that is actually kind of appropriate. I thought they were setting up a Chekhov's gun, but this actually makes sense
So all the
thematically.
time I word holding someone's practical joke.
Maybe.
I'd say that's rather rich.
No, I don't think so.
Damn. Rossi is going through a complex character arc.
says he saw Rosiu. He said that he flew off somewhere in a gun spinner.
I'm worried about him.
I know you can do that. That is all I can tell you.
Yeah, those are very final words. Please don't tell me he's going to use that gun
Kinon, I am grateful
for
your
himself.
It's a little faint, but I'm getting some sort of signal to the east-northeast.
friendship. Roger.
Okay.
An excellent job. Not everyone could have done what you did.
That's true. I'm worried about him. He's almost like, I don't know. It looks like he's accepted something. And I'm worried what that is.
We're just returning the animals to their natural habitat.
No, that's right. You can leave him here.
Sorry to bother you.
He didn't overthrow you for personal gain, Simon.
Oh.
After the trial,
Oh. Oh. It was really hard on him.
I know he didn't.
Such a simple scene, but that
what
was
about
really
his
good.
village? The
You were.
I must atone.
It's
Sin.
it's good for you to. Shit, man. Like, it's good for you to like acknowledge that you did wrong. But that you don't have to go too far.
Sins must be judged. I will atone for my sin at
Oh.
my own hand.
Oh. Shit. Oh, they can like see it.
Spiral perceptual teleportation system engaged.
What? 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 You're gonna teleport to him?
For us.
Oh my god, it's like Exodia being summoned. Obliterate! And punch him like Kamina would.
Let's see ya grit those.
Yep, that's exactly what Kamina does. Snap you out of it.
You know, I was once belted like that too.
Yep. On the day Kamina
Everybody
died,
makes
right?
mistakes. When you do make a mistake, you should be slugged by someone. There's no need to punish yourself.
Let us do it for
At the
you.
time,
Aww.
actually, I'm pretty sure there's someone else in this
Yeah,
world
Kinon
who
needs
you
you.
even more than I do.
Oh.
Kino.
Oh man. Jesus! Relax!
That's for sure. I bet.
Well, it's not permanent, because...
Oh yeah, you are. You're very heavy. You're okay right where you are. Besides, right, I want to feel what the weight of a single human life is like.
Oh, good line! Holy shit! Wow. I want to feel the weight of a single human life.
Of the universes we call the 10th and 11th dimensions.
Jeez, man. Yeah, explain it simply.
I can't make heads or tails of it either.
Well, they can
This
teleport.
is definitely the anti-spiral
That's all we need to know.
homeworld.
Observed just once can be picked up on a spiral scan.
It may be the quantum universe theory.
Do you know everything, Rosiu? This isn't like you people.
And that's The perceptual teleportation system.
If you think of
Crazy.
someone, it'll send you. Just thinking of them gives you wings.
Think of me and you die.
Or, basically, if you have fighting spirit, you can go anywhere.
That's fucking crazy
So,
that we can
You should
teleport.
also assume has this warping capability as well.
A good point.
It's a good idea for Gurren Lagann to leave Earth right now.
No. And don't worry about Earth while you're gone. I'll come up with something. So please.
Hell
come
yeah.
We found the enemy's stronghold, so let's go smash it up. That's how we've always fought our battles in the past.
This is great.
Am I right?
Uncle Keaton's heading off to the edge of the galaxy for a bit, so I'll have a bunch of cool stories when I get back.
He's a good uncle.
You can go, honey. Weren't you asking?
You sure?
This is Team Daiguren's last big fight, isn't it? Very own Dayaka, stand on the sidelines.
Aw.
Well,
I'm so lucky.
Oh.
I'm so lucky I married you.
you just make sure you protect our planet.
He was so worried about asking her.
To me.
I promise.
Oh, come on, quit crying.
I'm crying.
Idiots.
That's so cute. I loved that scene. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wow. Anything could happen now, and I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Same here.
What?
Sorry.
It's not
I know how big a
more
job this
boob
is.
than she normally
count on that.
shows.
Is something the matter? Hey, this is...
Hell yeah.
It's Team Daiguren's flag.
Yes, it is.
That's what he was ironing at the
It's also
start.
the same flag we flew when we took Teplin.
Sir?
I hope I can count on your support.
Bro, I'm heading out.
The sword's still there. That's so good. Oh, look at him. Badass.
Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. Time to launch Super Galaxy
Holy
Daiguren.
shit.
Right, Super Galaxy Daiguren.
That's good.
Whoa.
Much better fit for you people than Cathedral Terra.
It sure is.
Gotta
Kikan,
glow up.
Zero, Tetsukan, Artenbro, Gabo, Gimme, Dari, Sibilla, Layton.
This is a pokey
Yoko,
rap?
Vero, Lorgino. Perceptual teleportation system activate!
Okay.
Let's go. Our final battle.
Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That was a great episode. I really, really, really liked that episode. Yeah, I don't know what it is. No, I do know what it is. There's just some really good character moments in this episode. Like the character moments all really hit for me in this episode. And once again, like I said at the start of the video, I'm so glad that I've rewatched this show up to this point before getting to these episodes, because I have even more investment in them now. And yeah, I am just like, I'm just so satisfied with how a lot of these scenes went. And like, I really like the episode dedicating a lot of its time to Rosiu and his character, and like how he can sort of like make up for his mistakes, and like what he can do, and like finding, you know, Rosiu was lost, and Simone's the one to help him out in the same way that Kamino helped Simone out. And I think that's really nice. It's like there was something. What was the thing that I really liked in this episode? One of the things was him saying like him. By him I mean Simone arriving and doing the Kamina like clench your teeth and then punching him in the face, right? Which you know, I'm thinking right now in sorry, my brain is working at 100 miles an hour, and it looks like it's working very slowly. But it's actually because I'm thinking of a bunch of things right now. In the game Danganronpa V3, I like really early in the series, I said that that Kamina is voiced by Kaito's voice actor. Kaito Momota from Danganronpa V3, right? And so they sound exactly the same, and they have very similar personalities, like very similar, and very similar roles within the story to the main character, because like essentially there's a character called Shuichi and Kaito Momota, and Shuichi is very much like Simone, and Kaito Momota is very much like Kamina. And there's a scene in Danganronpa V3 where Kaito like punches Shuichi really, really hard and knocks him down, and then says, "Clench your teeth," which I know, like, clench your teeth is a thing you say before you punch someone, right? Like, that's like your way of warning them, essentially. So it doesn't need to necessarily be a reference, but just the fact that it's Kaito's voice actor, Kamina's voice actor, and he did the whole clench your teeth thing. Now, obviously in Japanese, I don't know if it was also Kamina's voice actor. I doubt it, but like maybe, you know? I mean, you know, like I have the internet right in front of me, so I can find that out. So Kaito Momota voice actor, Japanese. So Kaito Momota's Japanese voice actor was Rohei Kimura, and now Rohei Kimura's My Anime List profile. And I'll sort it by favorites just to see, and in fact I can just search Gurren. Nope. Okay, he's not in Gurren Lagann, but he's Bokuto in Haikyuu. That's awesome. I love Bokuto. But no. Okay, so it's not the same voice actor in Japanese, so I doubt it's a reference, but it's just very funny that, like, watching this episode and I just kind of made the connection of, like, clench your teeth in Danganronpa and Simone, you better clench your teeth in this, and they're done by the same voice actor. It's just crazy. Kyle Herbert is the name of the voice actor, it says on my screen right now. Anyway, so I liked in this episode, Simone arrives, he does the whole clench your teeth thing, punches him in the face, and then says, like, if you make a mistake, you gotta get punched in the face, right? But you know, you shouldn't. What was the thing I have written down? There's no need to punish yourself. And I really like that. The idea that, like, you shouldn't be choosing your own punishments. Like, you can't shoot yourself in the head because look, if you make a mistake, I'm going to be the one to punish you. I get to come over there and choose what the worthy punishment for you is. You don't get to decide that. It's like, it's honestly, for me, that feels like that's something I don't think I've thought of before. And I really like when shows, because I don't ever get mad or sad at shows when they express a sentiment that I've seen a decent amount, because there's so much media out there, and I've consumed a lot of media. And also, like, there's certain wisdom in the world that's considered to be actually wisdom, and then there's also, like, you can give bad advice, right? And the good advice is normally the ones that's going to be making it into TV shows, into good scripts. So because of that, you tend to see a lot of overlap of, like, good advice. I don't know if I've seen someone make this argument before, which is like, you shouldn't punish yourself. I'm coming over there and punishing you. And because I like that argument. I think that makes a lot of sense to me. And that actually, I can see that kind of getting through to someone. Because people sometimes have that problem where it's like, they might make a mistake or they might make mistakes, but we as people cannot judge ourselves super well. I would say I'm a relatively self-aware person. I think I've got a decent grasp of myself, but I think part of being self-aware is knowing that you can't be fully self-aware. Like, you can't be 100% there. You just, like, other people are going to have a better grasp on stuff. So sometimes I will be super down on myself about something, and then someone else will go, "What? That's what you're down about?" You know? Like, that's not true at all. That's not how people see you. That's not how people perceive you. And sometimes I will be, you know, proud of something, and other people are like, oh no, that's not great. Or they won't say that to me, but I'll find out that they don't find that part great, you know? So, like, we don't really know, you know? And sometimes you might be beating yourself up about something over and over and over, and then you find out other people aren't even thinking about that. Like, I have friends who definitely, like, beat themselves up too much over stuff, and sometimes they'll come up to me and say, or, like, I've had, you know, friends, family and stuff come up to me and say, like, hey, the other day, I just want to apologize. I said to you this thing, and, like, then I realized that was an insensitive thing to say, so I'm really sorry. And I went, did you? Sorry, I don't remember that. Like, it just genuinely, it wasn't a thing for me. But for them, they were, like, beating themselves up over it. Or maybe they said it to me and I went, huh, okay. Like, you know, maybe I thought at the time, like, oh, that was a little weird. But then I think immediately, like, oh, but it was just weirdly phrased, so it's fine. And then I move on with my life. But they've been torn up about it for so long. I remember, here's something that, this is genuinely a weird, like, sometimes, you know, you have those defining moments of your life, but it's like, it's such low stakes and terribly, like, it's so stupid when you explain it. But when you're a kid, everything's stupid, right? But this is genuinely, like, a big moment in my life. At some point, when I was in primary school, a friend had this Pokemon card, and it was a golden Pachirisu, right? That was what it was. So it's the Pokemon Pachirisu, which is like a squirrel type Pokemon. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. And the card was like golden, kind of like, it looked really nice. Now, it looking back on it, I don't think the card is important at all. Like, I know at least a little bit about Pokemon cards now. I've got a decent amount of Pokemon cards. Not a lot, but a decent amount. An okay amount. And actually, in fact, I, the other day, opened a Pokemon pack for the first time, or a few Pokemon packs for the first time in a while. Like, first time I've done it with real life packs in a while. And I got myself a Professor's Research full art card that I'm just gonna focus on. I really, really love this card. Just like a really, really beautiful art. And I sleeved it immediately because I really liked it. And I've just got it. I've just got it out, like, on my little shelf because I really like the card. But, like, all of this to say, right? This isn't like an incredibly valuable card, but this is kind of like what valuable cards can look like. This is like one of the slightly more special cards. This is called a full art card, or at least as far as I know, this is called a full art card. And they're, like, more valuable than the regular types. Like, there'd be a type of this card that is like this, but it doesn't have, like, the art covering the whole card. It's just got, like, a picture of the art. So this is kind of what a valuable card looks like. This Pachirisu card in this story wasn't a card like this. It was less important. It was more of a common card, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, we were kids. It didn't matter. We don't know the rarity of cards. We don't know the value. All we know is we'd never seen a card like this before, and it was a very pretty card. And we found it special. It was one of my friend's cards. He had it, and he, at some point, was, like, showing it to me, and then he, like, left it at my house accidentally or something. And I was like, wow, this card is so awesome. And I got kind of, like, I really liked it. I don't think I have it, do I? Hold on. No, I don't. I did a quick look. I thought I could enhance the story if I had it. Anyway, he left it at my house at some point, and I had the card. I was looking at the card a lot. I really liked it. And he said to me, like, hey, if you could just, like, bring it to school at some point or something, right? And I went, okay, I'll bring it to school. And then I kind of, like, forgot but also like I liked the card. Like I wasn't keeping it on purpose, but also like I wasn't stressing over getting it back quickly, you know, because I really liked the card. And then at some point I went to school and I was like, okay, I'm going to give it to him. Checked my pockets. Where the heck is it? It's gone. And then I was like, oh no. Like when I was getting out of the car, it might have fallen out. And then I like went to like later I was like checking around where the pickup was and I couldn't find it. And I went, oh no. And I realized like, shit, I've lost his card. And then for the next several weeks, I think maybe even for the next like month, I was looking for it just in case, but I couldn't find it. And I was like, no, it's lost. I think it's like it's gone forever. And I was freaking out. I felt so guilty. For me, I was like, this is the most prized possession in the world. In retrospect, it was fucking nothing. It was a stupid Pokemon card that I don't even know if he cared about it that much. I think he cared about it because it was his card, but it just like it wasn't that big a deal. But for me, I felt so guilty. I cried myself to sleep several nights over it because I was so upset. I was so terrified, and every time he asked about it, I was like, yeah, oh, sorry, I have to get it to you soon. Or yeah, it's on my desk or whatever, and I really didn't know. And then one day he asked about it, and I was like, I think I lost it. I don't know where it is. And he went, oh, damn, okay. And then he moved on, and then that was it. And I told him later, like, you know, I cried because I was so guilty over losing that card. And he went, what? Oh, okay. It's just like for him I was like, why did you do that? But for me, this was horrifying. This was such an upsetting moment. And so I beat myself up over losing this card so heavily. And if I was to choose my own punishment, I would have chosen death. Like I thought I deserved the worst. I thought I was such a horrible person for losing this card. And I really don't get to dictate that. It's his card, and he was like, okay, well, you know, you feel guilty, time, you know, your punishment is time served. Like that's it. So I like all this to say, I think we're not good at punishing ourselves. And I love this scene of like, just, you know, what Rosiu deserved is to be punched and to have to serve everyone else and to serve under it and lose a bit of power, you know, like him having too much power is probably a big part of it as well. He shouldn't be the one making the decisions. But he shouldn't die, you know, that's definitely not something we want. So I loved that moment. I loved when they showed the scene of like after Simone's trial, and it's just Rosiu like crying in this room alone. Like, because I knew that was the case. I knew that was what he was like inside, but I just wanted to. I'm just glad we saw it, because like seeing those sorts of scenes that really gets me, you know, and it really got me in this episode. It's crazy that we can teleport now, by the way. Now, when they mentioned the holy book can't be read, like it was compared against different scripts and it can't be read. Now, give me a second here. When they said it can't be read, my immediate thought was, oh, this is a Chekhov's gun they're setting up. This is a thing that they set up early in the series as like, oh, this is a special book. And now they think it's like gibberish, but then by the end of the series, this is going to come back and like, we're going to find out what this really means. But also the way that scene played out, I went, oh no, it actually kind of also has meaning if it has no meaning, because that's the point. Like the point is, you know, you were teaching about this religion for so long and you were literally holding a book of gibberish, you know? Like it didn't matter what the book said. There was no greater meaning. And that's the point. You know, we're always searching for a greater meaning in religion. That's the point of religion, right? Is to search for a greater meaning in the universe. and you were holding a book of gibberish. There was literally no greater meaning in what was written there. So it does really work well for the themes. I just also want to like throw out there, if they did end up bringing it back around and it was some sort of alien language or something that we could use, then at least I mentioned it when it happened, you know? But now that I've said that, I'm gonna like throw that out of my mind, because I don't want to be one of those people who like completely misses the point of that scene where like they're having like a nice little ironic moment that works really well thematically, and I'm one of those people who's reading too much into the book and going like, no, but it has to mean something, you know, because like that might have been the writer saying to me, it means nothing, forget about this book. And if I'm just ignoring the writer saying that, I think that's not fair to the writer. So I'm now that I've said that my piece on that it could mean something, you know, it could come back around, I'm now putting that out of my mind and just assuming it doesn't. There was another scene that I loved. Oh, well, two really good ones. Firstly, when Rosiu and Keenan and Simone were all leaving, and Keenan was sitting on Rosiu, and he was like, yes, you're heavy. But he was like, but can you stay on me? I want to feel the weight of a single human life. And firstly, it's like a nice scene because like I want to feel the weight of a person on me is like that just at face value, that's a sweet sentiment, I think, genuinely. Like we as humans, not all humans, I guess, but me definitely enjoy human contact, and we're a lot of the time we're built for human contact, and that's supposed to be somewhat comforting, you know. And for me, yes, feeling someone's weight like sitting on my lap can be a comforting presence, because you just have another person with you, and like it's unlike having, you know, you could put something that is similar to the weight of a human on your lap, but it's not gonna feel the same as if you had a person there. And so like I think that is a very sweet sentiment on its own, but the like wording of the line, making it have the meaning of like, I want to feel what the weight of a human life is, like how important a human life is, because he almost sacrificed so many people. And what he's saying now is like, I was treating those people as like numbers. I was playing the numbers game. I was saying like, I'm going to sacrifice all of these lives to protect all of these lives because, you know, this many people, like, you know, this is a million people, or, you know, let's say like this is 700,000 people, this is 300,000. 700,000 is bigger than 300,000, so we save these people, we kill these people. That was like what he was thinking of, and he's seeing people as numbers, but they're not numbers. There are people within those numbers, and like it's much easier to make the decision when you're just looking at the numbers. But when you actually have one of those people, if there's a million people, you just have one of those people on your knee, you can just feel them. You can feel that they're a like living, breathing person, and you can hear their voice and you can feel their warmth. It's a very different thing if you're sending that person to their death, you know? And that's one person. Now times that by 300,000. Like that's just a random number I pulled out of my ass. I don't remember all the numbers for the things, but yeah, that is what like is that can change things. If you had to go to each and individual person that you were sacrificing and look them in the eye, or and kill them yourself, would you be able to do that? Talk to them and get to know them and then kill them. Would you be able to do that? Probably not. That you wouldn't be sacrificing people then. So like I really love that he's like, look, I need to make sure I'm not going to do something like that again. I need to understand like literally the weight of a person's life. And that's like I was kind of blown away by that line, because it's really hard to have a line like that in an anime, which was originally in Japanese, because that line has two meanings. One that works with one meaning of the word wait, and one that works with this like spiritual, you know, the metaphorical meaning of the word wait. Now, it doesn't shock me that much that metaphor still works in Japanese, but it shocks me a little bit. Like I'm a little bit surprised that sort of line can work really nicely in an English dub. So yeah, I really liked that. It was a really beautiful line that just took me off guard, especially since I originally thought like, oh, it's just like a cute scene where they're kind of flirting with each other a little bit. But then when he said that line, I was like, oh no, this is a really important, impactful scene for Rosiu. And then the other scene that I loved, and this one almost made me cry the most out of all the scenes, which is crazy to me, is this scene right here. Because, I mean, first of all, I love that she's just playing with the baby in the background, and that was distracting me a little bit during the scene, but it was very funny and cute. But this scene, and I'm sorry that I don't remember these two characters' names. I know them both very well, obviously, one of the sisters and the one she got married to, and they had the baby, and the baby's doomed to the world. But I don't remember their names, because the sisters all had pretty similar names. And you know, I always just thought of him as the husband of her. But I really liked the scene because like he's very nervous about talking to her about this, and then she's like, well, you wanna go, don't you? And then like, of course, it's only natural that you would go. And he oh gosh, I'm already tearing up again. And he is like so happy and relieved that she understands him and understands that he needs to do this and is like proud of him for doing it, but also like wants him to get home safe. And I know that this was a talk that he was dreading. Like, look at that face. He was dreading having this talk. This face, like he really was scared of like having to tell his wife, like, I'm literally crying while explaining it. He was really scared having to tell his wife, I want to go with them and I want to fight for humanity. And like that moment of like her saying it first and her completely understanding and taking all of that pressure off of him. It's like a weight off his shoulders, and also this realization that like he married the perfect woman, like a woman who completely understands him and who will support him but also loves him so much. And I like scenes like that. Look at him crying there. Scenes like that really get me. I just adore them. I really do. So yeah, that was my favorite scene of the episode. And it's like, I know, well, I'm pretty sure if you watch, like, I don't know this for sure, but I feel like if you watch other reaction videos to that, people aren't going to react that much to that scene. You know, people are going to be like, ah, that's cool. She's a nice wife, you know? There's something about scenes like that just really get me. Oh, like so much so that I watch reaction videos and there are bits in the episode where I'm crying my eyes out and I'm watching the reaction YouTuber and they have no reaction to that scene, you know? But then there'll be a scene that's like really clearly emotional and they'll be crying a lot and I might not be reacting to it at all. So it's, you know, that's the beauty of reaction videos. You find different beauty in different scenes because of the way that they respond to it. But yeah, what a beautiful episode. I genuinely really enjoyed this episode. I loved it a lot. So that was Gurren Lagann, episode 23. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. You can get next week's episode of Gurren Lagann on there right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.